Hi, this is Valerie. Today I'm going to be talking about my last creative reflection question using a PowerPoint voiceover representation, which would be how did I integrate technology, software, hardware, and online for this project? So, first off, my equipment. I used colored paper, accessories, jewelry, face paint to conserve in budget while still getting my point across of the character's expressions and visual languages. I feel like I have learned significantly with the involvement of this since I was able to approach it really creatively under a certain tight hold of money. I was able to learn the position of being a custom designer, using those metaphors of a bird and creating those literally into art. For example, cats are usually students are associated with danger, which would be translated over to feline cats. As for birds, they're associated with grace, which would be a stereotypical of nerd ambitionists. And lastly, we have the sheep, which were they're usually cowardice and mostly built on to promote peace with no sign of getting involved with danger. Alright, so this is the process of my visual materials. So the biggest issue while making this structured face mask is me using tapes. So at first I was making my guides since I wanted to trace over the final ones to give in that constant repetition of social groups being common with personalities and not standing out. However, while making my guides to create a trace on each of the final face masks, I realized that placing tapes was going to be a struggle since when putting it on, it started falling off right away. This was not beneficial for me since my actors will be constantly moving throughout production. So the most safest way I could have done was applied hot glue instead, so it ensured no sign of destruction from the face mask. Equipment and cinematography. So these applications were not they were all free. As for the camera, I asked for the school. I wanted to make sure I wouldn't use any vertical recordings, any portrait recordings, since it was going to risk the final film of my opening scene. I used Movavi video editor since that was the quickest guide for me, the quickest learning mechanism that I could do so I could get started right away in editing my final opening scene. Pixabay offers great free resources, which I use that to my benefit, such as music and soundtracks. That is how I was able to implement that soft music, then over to crescendo to tense music, as well as stereotypes of school bell. As for the behind the scenes, it really did help out a lot of the file organization. It helped me be more organized since I had no time to scatter around the files. I needed this to be quick and as efficient as possible since I was under a time crunch, so this needed to be narrowed down really quickly. I learned that as I downloaded more files to be implemented into my video editor, I realized that my storage was getting really full, so I started being more selective. And the most crucial point was time management, which was a constant struggle for me to juggle around to bring that moment over to the published film over to my blog. So compared to the visuals that I had to construct, editing and cinematography were personally my biggest issues since there was a lot of issues going on behind my files, downloading and organizing them all together since it wasted a lot of time. Upon starting my video blog, I realized that I can't open the clips. So that's a problem already to start with. As you can see right here, it just doesn't want to open. It just gives me an error. I did learn more methods with this category than those compared to the visuals. It made me be more organized with my other projects in classes, as well as upcoming visual films that I might be more involved in the meantime. So this is the end of my presentation. These were the learnings that I have gained, the issues that I have approached, and how I use these technologies to my benefit to bring in my opening field to life.